Welcome to the Own Your Life podcast, where our goal is to help bring hope, healing, and peace by sharing our experiences and inspiring you to own your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own Your Life podcast. Today is episode 74, and I do hope that all of you had an amazing Thanksgiving last week and that you had safe travels if you were going anywhere, and that you had a great time with family, friends, or if you just stayed home by yourself, I hope you had an awesome time as well. And I just wanted to start with saying that I am super thankful for our amazing dog, Marley. Her birthday was just the other day. She turned 7 years old, and she is so smart. She's pretty amazing in that when I was just even testing the mic before recording this, she came into the room into her usual spot because she knows where she sits during podcast recording. And I just thought it was so cute that she just came in here and just plopped down on her pillow where she knows she's supposed to be when we record, just so she knows that she needs to behave and not run around and bark at anything while we record our podcast. So just very thankful for her and how amazing she has been, especially with how much adapting we've done, not having Haas this year and then moving to Florida and all the things. She has been the best dog, and I'm just very, very thankful for her. And so today, what we're going to get into is about living your life, about going and living your life and not living in fear. And I know we've talked extensively about, faith over fear and living in fear versus living in faith and living the way that you want to, because really owning your life is going to be living your life the way that you want to, with the circumstances that you have right now. So not necessarily, hey, I want to be a millionaire and I want to live this kind of lavish lifestyle. Some people, yes, that's great. You can do that. But others, we're not there yet. If that's, your goal and what you want, but you can own your life and live the life you want to live before any of that or any other goals that you're trying to reach happen. So I've really thought about this a lot, and especially with living in Florida, it really does feel like we're living in another country down here, because people are doing just that. They are living their lives. They're doing what they want to do. It doesn't seem to be that many people are in fear here. And yes, I still see people, walking around that have the double mask on, seem like they might be a little weary of other people, and that's fine. They're allowed to do that. But for the majority of it down here, that most people are just living their lives that they want to and seem to be having a good time doing so. And I've just thought even about the times that we have gone to Universal Studios. I mean, to think about all this coronavirus stuff and all these people living in fear and so terrified to leave their house, or maybe they are wearing the double mask and they're wearing gloves and they're wiping down their groceries and just all this crazy stuff. Yeah, it's not like that here. Like when we go to Universal Studios, and we do have annual passes, so we go all the time, which is great. I mean, it's already been paid for, so it's not like we pay for separate tickets every time. That would be crazy. But when you live an hour and a half away, you're going to take advantage of it for sure. And just being there, like they don't wipe down the rides after somebody goes on it. Like they don't have time for that. They're just loading and then loading and then loading and loading. And like, yes, you need to wash your hands often, go to the bathroom, wash your hands. Like they have bathrooms everywhere that you can do that. But like it doesn't seem like people are fearful there. And it's just kind of funny how many people are so worried still about, social distancing and mask and the vaccine and all this stuff. But like, I love going to places in Florida, and especially Universal, because it's like back to normal, back to what it was. Like people, you can touch stuff in the stores, or you can try things on, or you go on rides or whatever. And like, people don't look at you like you have cooties, like, oh my gosh, you didn't wipe off your handlebar. Like, how dare you? They don't do that. And it's just kind of funny that it's almost like people forget all about coronavirus and everything when they're here, because they're just enjoying themselves and having a great time. And people are not dying, by the millions down here, or even the hundreds from coronavirus. That's not happening. So it's just kind of funny. And I think just being down here has just helped me be even more convicted in the way that Matt and I feel, because I just see it. I see people living their lives and they're fine. We're not just dropping dead of a virus. Like, it's not happening. This isn't Contagion. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but thank God the coronavirus is not like that, where people are just foaming at the mouth and literally dropping dead. Like, that's not how this is happening. And I feel like a lot of us are treating it that way. And it's ridiculous. I think we need to let it go. I really think it's time for everybody to move on. And I saw this new Omicron variant came out, and it's like, okay, great. Nobody cares. I just saw this meme of from Jurassic Park, the first one, which is my favorite. And it shows when I can't remember his name, but when he's sitting at brunch and the one guy comes there and like tries to act all secretive and like, oh, I don't want anybody to see me. And he like makes an announcement like, hey, guess what? Guess who's here? Oh, guess what? Look, nobody cares. But it was a meme about it and said, oh, look, the Omicron variant is here. And then the next slide was, oh, nobody cares. And I feel like that's what it is. Like, COVID's never going to go away. I hope that if you don't realize that now, that you do realize that, because it's always going to mutate. It's always going to adapt. It is something that we're probably just going to have to live with for the rest of our lives. Just like any other virus, like, it's okay. Our bodies are very strong and I believe are able to adapt and fight off a lot of different viruses and diseases. And that's the way that we were designed. But there's always going to be fear pushed at us. And I feel like here's the next thing. Here's the next variant to make everybody terrified of whatever. And it's just ridiculous. And I did see somebody unscrambled Omicron and said it could also stand for moronic. If you just rearrange the letters, it's the same thing. So I thought that was kind of funny and ironic that they even, that's what it's called. It's Omicron. Out of all the Greek letters, that's what they chose was Omicron for the next one. So just kind of funny. Maybe a little subliminal message there, but just with being down here, being in Florida compared to even being in North Carolina, just 9 months ago when we were there, that it is like a different world down here. And I'm so much happier just seeing all the people who are just doing what they want to do. The restaurants are packed, stores, like there's people in stores, there's people doing stuff. Like, there's always something to do down here. There's people at the beaches, there's people going to amusement parks, or going to all these shopping malls, things like that. And for the most part, people seem pretty happy, and that they are just living their lives and not overly concerned about what others are doing, but making the best of it, because many times that we've said, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And I really feel like we've got two big choices right now. And the one choice would be to continue to live in fear, miss out on life, miss out on opportunities with loved ones, miss out on opportunities with your friends, trusting the government. I think that's option number one, is doing all of those things. And option number two is to live your life. Live your life, see your friends and family. Do not be scared of the boogeyman coronavirus, because it's not going to kill you, most likely. If you have other comorbidities, I would suggest, obviously getting help for those if you haven't already, because yes, people can die from coronavirus with other things. And I do feel like the other things are what cause the death, such as obesity or lung cancer or any other kind of cancer or sickness or something else that they've been dealing with. And that maybe COVID was just the last thing that they needed to tip over everything else. So I'm not saying it doesn't kill people, but the fact is most of the other people that have been passing away with coronavirus also have comorbidities. So anyways, option two, live your life, see friends and family, trust in God, and have more hope, healing, and peace in your life, which is exactly what owning your life is about. And I do feel like those are the choices that we have right now, because yes, you can continue to live in fear. You can feed into everything that the news is pushing at you. And the reason why they're pushing another variant is to get you crazy, get you all flustered again, frightful. Oh my gosh, we cannot see grandma for Christmas because everybody's going to die. Like, yes, this is extremes, but this is how a lot of people are thinking. I'm not just trying to poke fun at it, which of course I am, but so many people are living their lives this way. Yes, it's a little sarcastic and cheeky, but people are doing this. People are taking it to the extreme, and they are missing out on living their lives while doing so. And it's just really, I could just see right through it. And it's really frustrating just because we can see the opposite of what Matt and I have experienced down here in Florida is so many people not living that way. So many people that are actually taking advantage of the time that they have and making the most of it, whether they're with friends, family, or whatever, and not living in a panicked fear state. I do really appreciate our governor, DeSantis, in that he has made it so that it is your choice. It's your choice of how you live. You are not going to be forced to do anything or inject yourself with anything that you don't want, and that you really can live the life you want to live with your family, raise your kids how you want. You don't have to succumb to putting them in a school that's going to force them to put a mask on their face for 8 hours plus a day. You don't, or force them to get a vaccine. You don't have to do that. You have the choice as the parent and as, if the person, if it is you in school, maybe it's a university, and that you have the choice to choose the kind of life that you want to live. And that is what we are all about, because we're all about freedom and hope, healing, and peace. And that does not happen if you do not have say so in your everyday life. And if you're living in fear, that's just no way to own your life. I feel like that is letting somebody else have control. And it's just really sad. And I just want more people to be empowered to really take charge and be responsible for their lives, because we are responsible only for our lives, not to be responsible and control other people, but to realize that we can make our own decisions. And that is, I believe that's what God wants for us. And some scriptures here that I have about living in fear. I just find this very helpful. If you are living in fear right now and you need something to hang on to, scripture is very powerful. And even just writing this, on a Post-it, putting it on your bathroom mirror, in your car, near your desk, wherever you're going to see it, could help you through if you are really struggling. And right here, I've got 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. And also Deuteronomy 31:8. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. And last one here is Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And I feel like all of these can be very powerful. There are so many more scriptures on fear and on not living in fear, because I feel like that is also not trusting in God and not trusting that He has better for all of us. I do feel like even if you're not a believer, that God does love you, God does care about you, and He does not want you to live in fear, does not want you to suffer or be in pain, and that He gave us free will for a reason, and that is your choice. You can choose to live in fear, or you can choose to live in faith. You can choose to live your life and do what you want to do. And I think it's time for all of us to get back to living the way we want to live, because the world isn't going to go back to what it was 2 years ago. I think we should know that by now, that we've seen this happen, that, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We are almost at 2 years now. So that's obviously not going back to what it was beforehand. And I think the best thing that we can do is to move forward and to take one step at a time. Doesn't have to be anything monumental overnight, but to realize that you are in charge of your life at the end of the day. And you can choose to be better, or you can choose to be upset, be mad, be fearful, bunker down and not come out, and don't be social, and be depressed and upset and alone. Like, you can choose all of that, or you can choose to, if you have been doing that, break out of your shell and get back into the world, because we're not going to be able to stop all of the crazy that's happening with coronavirus and stuff that's being pushed at us, because we don't have control over that. But we do have control over our response and how we choose to live our lives moving forward. So I do want to empower you guys that it's time to get back to it. Have friends over, have an amazing holiday season. Do not hold back, and do not think, oh, I can't see so-and-so and so-and-so because of whatever reason. If maybe it's the whole vaccination thing, or it's you're scared you're going to accidentally kill grandma, which I don't believe that that's how that's going to happen. But if that's the kind of fear that you want to live in, I do feel like trusting in God and that He's going to let you be with your loved ones and keep you all safe. That's how I live. And that's, what I believe in. And if you don't believe in that, that's fine. You are entitled to your own beliefs, your own opinions. But I do believe in that God has more for us, and that He wants us to be happy and healthy, and that we can pray for all of that. And to have the best holiday season that you've ever had, and that the best is yet to come, that we are not in, gloom and doom, and that, the best is over and we're going to be stuck however you think the world is going right now. That it will get better. I do believe it will. Maybe not right away, but I do believe things will get better. And I believe the way to do that is to live your lives, to make it better for yourself now and for your family, and to gather with the people that you love and have a great holiday season. Go out and do fun things. Go to Christmas events. Look up things in your area. Or maybe if you don't have any, look maybe an hour outside or wherever you can drive to, that you can go do something fun for the holidays, whether it's a drive-in movie of like an old school Christmas movie, or driving through a bunch of lighted areas and just seeing all the pretty Christmas lights, maybe Christmas light displays, things like that, or going ice skating, anything like that. I think it was just very meaningful in making memories and having a great time with each other, especially now during the holiday season. I know it is hard for a lot of people who do not have family, who are alone, who are isolated. And I would encourage you to reach out to somebody, a friend, a coworker, somebody, and just to have an amazing holiday season. So with that, go live your lives. Go live your lives and own your life while doing so. And with that, please share this message. Please subscribe. Please rate and review us. And until next time, own your life, because your life is your responsibility. Thank you all for listening. If this added value to you, please click subscribe and rate and review us. You can also find us at Own Your Life Co. on Instagram and Facebook, and ownyourlifeco.com. And as always, own your life, because your life is your responsibility.